Students, that dissent is not reason, opposition is not rebellion, differences are mutually complementary, hence to be accepted and respected. They should be taught that those who differ from us are not our enemies. Our opponent does not belong to a different species of humanity. Education for democracy creates enlightened citizens with civic sense who are not unaware of their duties as much as they are aware of their rights. The peace and prosperity of a nation depends on the young students in schools and universities. If they are helped to us to use their energy constructively, they can work miracles. The education and motivation the students receive at home and at school are not adequate to prevent them from being manipulated by vested interests to commit crimes and indulge in violence. Our purpose is to motivate young students to start a process of making choices based on personal conviction. Convictions are to be formed from deep experience of life. The orientation program at the beginning of the academic year is designed to make students aware of the realities in the country and help them form a vision of life. The students must be educated to become the instruments to develop an integrated nation out of our diversities. They must be made acquainted with the noble humanistic sentiments of our Constitution, and the role of a teacher is to shape the minds of the younger generation. The shaping will be on positive lines, development of a scientific and humanistic attitude and temper, self-discipline, concern for other people, an ecological awareness and concern, a firm conviction that democracy thrives on tolerance, and a firm commitment to break wits and not to break heads. Teachers must instill into the students our ancient cultural spirit of tolerance of different opinions and viewpoints, and acquaint them with the modern wisdom expressed in the dictum of the famous French thinker Voltaire, "I do not accept what you say, but I will defend with my life your right to say so." Whatever the country will be in the next generation will depend upon what you do to your students today in the classrooms. Today's children in school will start working and shouldering national responsibilities. You have to give them that sense of national loyalty and responsibility. You must help to remove from their minds whatever is negative and weakening in our past. Our past history gives us some good and some bad. We have to eliminate what is bad and strengthen what is good. Students must learn to discriminate between these two aspects of their national heritage. Every cultural heritage has two aspects. It is education that instills the capacity to discriminate between the two and the courage to reject what is bad and irrelevant and weakening. During education, our students must be helped to identify and retain the positive elements and pass them on to the next generation, and after strengthening them with their own contributions. To the students of this school, you are a collaborator of this institution, and your contribution is much valued for the well-being of this school. By holding values of peace, love, charity, righteousness, justice, integrity, honesty, and ecological sensitivity that you have learned from your homes and from these premises are your strengths. As Franciscans, members of a Franciscan institute, you have the responsibility to uphold these values day in and day out. I wish you every best and God's blessings on all of you. Thank you.
I consider it my privilege to invite onto the stage our chief guest for this very special evening, Right Reverend Dr. Francis Callist, Bishop of Meerut, to address the gathering.
Respected brother, Jose, the Superior General of the congregation, respected Brother Lawrence Abraham, the Provincial, Brother Julius, the Director of the School, St. Francis, the Principal, Mrs. Susan Jacob, dear fathers, dear brothers, dear sisters, dear parents, the staff, and my dear children. We have just begun the program. I feel it a great privilege for me today to stand here and address this august gathering as we celebrate the decennial celebration of St. Francis School in Thirapuram. I am invited as the chief guest for this annual function. As I was sitting and thinking about it, I, in a special way, would like to thank the Franciscan brothers for making this a reality in my diocese, Meerut, to have such a prestigious institution to impart education to the children in and around Indirapuram. And so in a special way today, I would like to thank the Superior General, Brother Jose, as well as the Provincial, Brother Lawrence Abraham, to make St. Francis School a reality in Indirapuram that is within the Diocese of Meerut. As I stand before, I was just thinking, what am I going to talk, because I have not yet seen the whole program. And not only I have not seen the whole program, I'm not able to see the audience also because of the light. I would like to say something about education as we have gathered here on the 10th anniversary of the school. Today, education is everywhere. There is no scarcity for schools. Once upon a time, we, the missionaries, used to go hunting for children to bring them to our schools. And that time, education was not given that much importance. But today, education is given a great importance by everyone, even in the remote rural areas. But then what type of education are we giving? And that's what I would like to reflect with you as we rejoice in the 10th anniversary of St. Francis School in Thirapuram. When we think of a school or an educational institution, today what happens is that the children join the school, they get educated, then they look for a job to earn a fat salary and then to enjoy life. But that's not the purpose of education. I would like to look at education from the present day context in which we live. Look at the present day context. The evil in the society. There was a slogan earlier that when people are educated, evil will disappear. But that has not happened. We find as we open the TV in any channel, or when we open the magazines or the daily news, what we hear today in the society is corruption, evil, fight, tension, discord, militancy, and especially atrocities against women, girl children, and these are the situations that we are living with. And that happens because today we give less importance to communion or relationships. Sir David C. Cotton, in his book, When Corporations Rule the World, he speaks about that in today's mankind can be divided into two types. One type, those who trade their lives in money, wealth, worldliness. And the other type, those who trade their lives in relationships. Then he goes on to say, those who trade their lives in money have not reached anywhere. It's a proven fact. But those who have traded their lives in relationships, they have reached the heights of life. We saw the program, the 5 elements, Panch Bhutas. Even there, that's the basis of world. Unless and until all these elements integrate and commune and become one, life is not possible. And so that's the basis of life, communion and relationships. Today that is lacking, and that's the purpose, that is the reason for all the atrocities and the evils in the world. Today, communication facilities have increased, but communion is lost. Relationship is lost. Husband and wife today manage with mobile. They communicate, but they have no communion. That's the world today we live. And that's why today education has to bring that communion, bring that relationship that brings everyone together. The more the relationship, the more peace, harmony. You take, for example, a family. If there is no relationship between the husband and wife, parents and children, brothers and sisters, what life can we think of? And so education today has to bring this relationship. We are divided by religion, by language, by caste, and by many other factors. Today, the country is divided, the world is divided. And so today, education has to educate the heart of the people and make them to have educated heart which can understand, which can forgive, which can relate, which can commune, and then which can bring harmony, peace, and life. And that's what the purpose of education today. I used to ask people and children, who is the richest man on this earth? They would answer Bill Gates, Tata, Birla, Mittal, Jindal, Ambani brothers, so many names. And I used to tell them, no, none of these. They are not the richest people on this earth. And I would say, it is Saint Francis of Assisi, the richest man on this earth. Because he realized the importance of relationship, the importance of communion, and you related with not only human beings, but even with nature. And he brought peace and harmony. And that's why you could really pray that beautiful prayer for peace. And today, St. Francis School, Indirapuram, stands for this value, which is the greatest need